A doctor, a president. A man who loved his country so fiercely that he chose death over betrayal. This is the story of Mohammad Najibullah Ahmadzai, hero misunderstood. A nation's mirror, and a legend whose courage still echoes through Afghanistan. In the dusty heart of Kabul, 1947, a boy was born into the rugged mountains of Paktia. A boy who would straddle the impossible line between healer and hunter. Mohammad Najibullah Ahmadzai, trained as a doctor to save lives, would become a man who tried to save a nation instead, even as it tore itself apart. He walked the halls of Kabul University in crisp white coats, dreams of healing in his eyes. But Afghanistan's destiny was never gentle. Politics, war, and the shadow of the Soviets called him, whispering of power and survival. Dr. Najibullah answered. By 1980, he was the feared head of KHA-DITE, the secret police whose reach made enemies vanish in the night. Yet behind that iron mask was a man who dreamed of peace. He rose to the presidency in 1986, offering national reconciliation to a land shredded by war. Former insurgents were invited to the table. Women gained a fragile voice, and the country briefly caught a glimpse of hope. But the world had other plans. Soviet tanks withdrew, alliances fractured, coup attempts whispered through the corridors of power. Najibullah clung to the presidency like a doctor holding a patient on the edge of life, but even the strongest hands cannot stop a country from bleeding. In 1992, the regime crumbled. Najibullah went to a United Nations compound, a fortress turned prison. For years of silence, shadowed by the echo of rockets and betrayal. And then, in September 1996, the Taliban stormed the gates. The man who once offered peace, who once tried to heal a nation, was dragged into the streets of Kabul. The world watched as his body was displayed in Ariana Square, brutal punctuation mark in Afghanistan's story. A healer, a president, a patriot. Even in death, Dr. Najibullah's legacy refuses to fade. Loved by many Afghans for his unwavering patriotism, his courage, and his vision of unity, he is remembered. Not as a dictator or a mere political figure, but as a symbol of what Afghanistan could have been. Nation held together by a man who loved it fiercely, even as it tore itself apart. Dr. Najibullah's greatest act of patriotism was not in speeches or reforms, it was in choosing to stay in Afghanistan, to face his fate rather than sell his country to foreign powers. He refused to abandon his people, refused to betray his homeland, and accepted death on his own soil rather than live in exile.